Right, we're on. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Linda. How are you?
I'm great. Right, I always start. Don't worry, I always start with the same question, right? Robert, I've already asked Robert this.
Yes,
right, tell us the first night you went down the Reno.
Oh, it's such a long time ago. I know I was with Robert because it was probably Robert that took me down there. With me living and being brought up in Beswick and Gorton, Moss Side was like the other side of Manchester to us.
Yeah.
But he was always way ahead of us in thinking and doing things. So I know that I first went down there with Robert and to the other one round the corner where you went upstairs. It was the Nile.
The Nile. The Nile was next door and the Western was round.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the first night I went in there, but I know I had many good nights in there. And for me,
go on,
being one of the hungry ones who always liked his food, still does, the end of the night was even better because next door was Shorty's. We used to go in there and get food, and there was a big queue in there, everybody shouting and bawling and the hustle and bustle. And it was just a great atmosphere and just great times, you know what I mean? You could fall out of there at 4 or 5 in the morning, you know what I mean? And go into Shorty's and get something to eat, and that was brilliant.
I forgot about Shorty's till someone put a picture on. You know, you just forget.
You get little things, don't you? That's what it is. You get little things.
Yeah, but like you say now, the hustle and the bustle and the laughs and they carry on with each other.
But it's all part of it, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
All part of it.
It used to make me laugh, all the old Jamaican guys outside in their Volvos. They used to all drive Volvos.
Yeah, in the big dusty Volvos.
Taxi your own, you know what I mean? A lot of them had trilby caps on. And one of my favourite ones, I used to go and I'd say, how much is it to take me home to Beswick? And they'd say, I want £7.
That's a lot of money.
Well, in them days, yeah.
Yes, £7.
And I used to say, no, I said to you, how much is it to Beswick? Not how much is the car. I don't buy a car.
Yeah, that's how it was though, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could always haggle.
Yeah.
And you get your ass home for 3 or 4 quid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, they was like everybody else, just trying to make a living, hustling and bustling. So if they could squeeze 7 quid out of you, do you know what I mean? Well, they would do, but...
I bet there was people who got 7 quid out of
it. Oh, yeah.
It was.
But they was the only ones we never done a runner on.
I was just thinking exactly the same thing myself.
Never, no. We what's the name there? We done runners in black cabs, didn't we?
All the time.
And they didn't have the locks on the doors.
No, they didn't have, no, I've done loads of runners out of black cabs.
We'd be laughing when we got to our destination and we'd take them round the corner, you know what I mean? But we'd be pissing ourselves, laughing and inching our way to the side of the door. And the minute he stopped, boom, both doors opened. Got
like gazelles.
Yeah. I could, speaking of a taxi, me and him, we met 2 birds in Manchester, in Brewster's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And one of them was English and one of them was Italian. She couldn't speak.
Oh, yeah, I know.
She couldn't speak...
not a word of English.
Not a word of English.
We couldn't speak a word of Italian.
Anyway, what's her name? They're both called Anna. One of them's from Manchester.
Milton, wasn't she?
Yeah. She was married to the...
Mafia, proper.
She was married to the other Anna's brother, who was inside.
Oh, the real mafia.
Yeah,
we met him.
Yeah, we met him. We went
years ago,
Yeah.
When they went back home, they kept mithering us. We was secking them out every night,
weren't we?
And they kept mithering us to come over to Sicily. I was married at the time, and he gave them my phone number at home. So they was ringing up, speaking to my wife at the time.
He was dead pleased.
Not happy at all, you know what I mean? Anyway, they persuaded us, didn't they, to come over to Sicily. Sicilia, it's called. What's her name? We did. They said, you know, you won't need no money. We'll look after you.
Pick you up from the airport.
Pick you up from And
they did.
I should have known when they all started clapping when the plane landed.
They all started clapping on the plane when the plane landed.
Because you're landing between two mountains.
Yeah, and there's a big cross on the side where the last one is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Cross where,
Oh my
so
God.
when you land, you clack, don't they?
You only get one shot at it, but we didn't know
That's
that.
insane.
Yeah.
Right between two mountains where they go to land.
And we got picked up. I mean, we're going back here, Robert, to the early 80s?
Yeah, very early.
Yeah, probably about 81, something like that. And we got picked up by a stretch limo. And in the 80s, you only ever seen that on a film.
Yeah.
And the guy had the chauffeur's hat on, a big white one it was.
This is crazy, go on.
And we went from Palermo, which was the capital,
Jailer, didn't we?
to a place called Gela, spelled G-E-L-A.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what's the name? I've got to tell you this. This is amazing, honestly.
It was amazing.
So, flying through the mountains, all these little country roads with big drops and mountains. We passed Mount Etna, which is famous volcanic mountain. And on the side of the road, halfway through, because it was about a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, it was far from the airport, wasn't it?
He was driving like a lunatic, this guy. And on the side of the road, there's like a car crash. And
a car crash just there?
Just there, with people lying about
on the floor.
And he just shot straight past. So I said to Anna, why has he not stopped? She said, no.
Bandit.
If you stop here, it's bandits.
Bandit country.
And that's what they do. They stage a car crash.
Oh, right.
And you stop to help them. If you don't know what's going on,
you're in trouble.
And you're in trouble, you're all liable to get a bullet in the back of your head. And they take off everything they've got, they're robbing you. From there, the hairs on the back of my neck went up. I was only a young lad, you know what I mean? Young, handsome. I wanted to live a bit.
Yeah. With your wife back home.
Anyway.
I'm dying to ask you, how did you manage to talk your wife into letting you go?
Well, that's why we're divorced.
Oh, okay. Go on then. Keep going.
You used to get off. They got him back in them days. You used to take off, man.
Get off and not come back.
He's called me in the marriage break.
And
I said, come on, let's go to London. Right? Somebody go and shop for a packet of cigarettes. I said, get in the car, we'd end up in London. 3 weeks later, they come home, the clothes will be outside. Happened loads of times, that. Sicily.
Go on.
Yeah, so Sicily. So because they've got all them old-fashioned rules, and they still have over there. The sun was shining, and we've gone out. We had an apartment of our own. We couldn't stay with the girls or anything like that. One of them was married to a guy who was doing life imprisonment for murder. There's been a big documentary on the same family.
The same family's been all over the news since. That's couple of years.
So. Anyway, they sorted us out with an apartment just up the road from them. They made us dead welcome, but the English one kept saying to us, whatever you do when you with all the family, because you used to go for a big meal with them every day, didn't they? They'd prepare a huge meal, a massive meal with all,
Like in The Godfather.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was every day. The women was all spent the full day cooking for this huge meal at the night time. And all the family used to sit round a huge table. Anyway, Anna used to say to us, Chris, whatever you do, don't say that word what begins with M.
Yeah.
Mafia.
Oh, okay.
Because mafia in English is the same as it is in Italian. Mafioso, mafia, it's the same. And every house they took us to visit, there was a picture on the wall, a big portrait of a guy, all dressed in a black suit with a black tie, a white shirt and a trilbion. Just looked like the Godfather.
Just looked like you see on television.
Yeah.
And I'd say to Anna, because Anna was the only one who could speak English.
Right.
From Middleton.
Yeah. I'd say to Anna, what? Who's that on the picture? Oh, that's the father of the family. Oh, he's dead. Him. What happened to him? Oh, he got shot.
Machine gun.
Yeah, he got shot. And it was every house we went in. There was a mother and all the kids, but the father was just a picture on the wall of him.
Oh, not the same father. Every single father of every single family had been murdered. Been assassinated.
Anyway, the worst of it was, for me, that we had a lovely time there. but there was a few frightening moments. It still make me cringe when I think about it today. And one of them, the husband wanted to see me and Robert.
Oh, the husband. Okay.
The one who was in jail doing life for murder.
What my intentions were.
He proposed marriage
to his wife.
No, to his Sicilian.
To Sicilian.
Sister, yeah, he was mad for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she couldn't talk English. I couldn't talk Sicilian.
I don't think it was that. I think he wanted to know who these two
People
young Mancunians in an Italian city where nobody spoke English. Who was that? What was they getting up to when they was in Manchester? Yeah. And it was just purely friendship, wasn't it? I'm saying that for camera. But it wasn't. Even today we could get shot, you know. So.
Went to see him in prison, didn't we?
I'm gonna blackmail
Talk
you.
about how scary it is.
Anyway,
go on.
He has the seals. So he's in this prison in a place called Caltanissetta, which was about 10 miles away. And in them prisons over there in them days, if you didn't have family that brought you food in and wine and cigs and all the things you would need in prison, you lived on fish head soup and all the shit. You know what?
You got to, right?
Yeah. So they're loading up the car. They went to see this guy once a week.
Right.
And they're loading up the car with big baskets of wine and fruit.
More shopping than we get.
Yeah.
Like a whole Christmas shop. Yeah.
They owned an abattoir, didn't they? Yeah. So it was all fresh meat and this, that and the other. So
it's to keep his status though, innit, and barter as well, I suppose, besides just for him.
Well, it was because of the bigger family that he was related to.
Right.
What begins with them.
Okay.
So, but we didn't know that.
We didn't know it. So the only time went by, we got on it. You
know? We was naive, really, when I think of it. So when we go to the prison, chauffeur driven in a big stretch limo, half the family's with us, all this food in the back.
This is crazy, man. Go on.
We get to this prison and it's on the top of a hill.
Yeah.
It looked like an old Dracula castle.
Wow.
That's all I can. And a big cobbled road going up to it.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible to look at. Even the prison windows didn't have bars on them. They had like a big metal plate right over the window what covered it up with little holes in it, drilled in. The wall, I'd say the wall was only about 10 foot tall all the way around it.
It wasn't big.
But there was boxes on it, and walking along the walls was guards with shotguns and machine guns.
Wow.
Now, to us then, we was young lads and we'd never seen guns.
We've seen that, we've been in Strangeways, but we've not seen them walking around with machine guns.
Yeah.
We've never seen
ominous, you know what I mean?
Just never seen
never
guns,
seen
did
it,
you?
No.
In them days.
No.
It was before we got the name Gunchester. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the only guns you ever see was when he was a kid, cowboys in India play guns. So for us, in our early 20s, I think it was about 22, 23 or something, to see that was a big thing. Anyway, they wouldn't let us in the prison to see him, which I'm glad about.
He was Cat A.
Because and we didn't have our passports with us.
No, we left them out.
So they all go in to see him, and we're having a walk round. So I remember we went in that shop and we bought these lovely cheese sandwiches, soft bread and loads of cheese.
Nice, man.
Thinking about it now is making me hungry.
Yeah, me too.
So, and they wrapped it up in like paper, wrapping paper.
Yeah, nice way, done it. It was just nice.
So we've got one of them, and we're eating, and we're having a walk round and that very quaint, typical Italian little village and that. They used to bring the cars inside the house. Oh yeah, they all drove them little Fiats.
Oh yeah.
And they had doors like concertina doors. Because the streets were so small,
narrow.
They used to drive the cars in the living room. So you'd have a television there and
that's crazy, man. And a little Fiat.
And a little Fiat at the back of the settee.
127, right?
Yeah.
So, and they all did it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, they were walking round and that, and Robert gets the camera out to take a photograph of one of these guards. We're dead close to him, I said, Robert, I don't really think you should be doing that.
That's what he said to me, yeah, I remember.
No,
We're alright, I'm saying.
He's clicking away. But as he's clicking, we found out later the flash was picked up by an infrared or something.
Right.
And they're turning
Towards
and pointing the weapons at us. And I said, Robert, stop doing that. Look what's going on here, you know what I mean? They weren't that far away. So, anyway, we found out afterwards as well, we would have got shot if it wasn't for the colour of my skin.
Yeah, the skin.
Why?
Because you didn't see no black people or mixed race, half caste people
like
there.
in the village, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all white people.
Yeah, only
And when they've seen me, they said to himself, he must be a tourist.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, go on. You're not local.
That's it. Yeah. So.
Walked down to the main gate.
Like walking in Winslow, isn't it? You know what I mean? Anybody knows we don't live there.
Yeah,
that won't stop them from shooting you in Winslow.
Well, yeah, that's true.
If they could.
So anyway, we walked round.
The main gate.
We come back to the main gate, and there's a bench there.
Yeah.
We sat outside.
We sat outside, we're eating our sandwich and talking. And then the doors open.
Big doors of the prison.
Big strange ways prison doors there was.
Yeah.
And a troop of soldiers
marching out
with all with little Uzi submachine guns.
Wow.
So Robert, the camera, look at this.
Yeah.
And they march out, and there's like a commander at the front of them, and they're speaking in Italian, and they're about 12 of them.
I think that's looking good.
They're taking photographs, and they come right out of the prison. And I think they're going to walk past us, but they don't. They come and stand right in front of us.
Oh, okay.
And then he shouts in Italian, stand to attention and face us. So I'm thinking, whoa, this
it's
there's
gone
something more to
serious
this.
now, yeah.
Anyway, he starts shouting the commander. So he's shouting, lay. So, but we don't understand what he's saying. So I'm saying I picked up a little bit of Italian. Non capisco Italiano.
I don't understand it.
Inglese.
Yeah.
I don't understand Italian, I'm English. So he's saying, lay. So what he's saying with his body language is, come with us.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, took us into the
gatehouse.
This big gatehouse, and it's all stone and dead old fashioned.
You know, dark.
Yeah, what you'd see on a film. They took him in one room.
All right.
Took me in another room. Anyway, with me in my room, they're saying, lay. Like
lift
that,
your clothes.
So I lifted my jumper up, and he's saying, lay. So take it off. So I took my jumper off. Then he's saying, shoes, you know, but in his language, so took my shoes off. So he said, pantalone. So I took my trousers off. I had my underpants on.
Your white front.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
The Superman on the front. So he's saying, pantalone.
Your underpants off as
Yeah,
well.
so I said, no pantalone. I was a bit wild in them days when I was thinking of it. You had to wind me up, but anyway, I said, no pantalone inglese, no Italiano.
No.
So he said, shouting, that's what they do, Italians, they shout a lot. Pantalone. So I said, no pantalone, inglese, no pantalone. So he said, I shouted through, I said, Robert. I said, did they make you take your underpants off? He shouts back, yeah. Laughing. Pissing himself, laughing. So I pulled my underpants down. I thought he was going too far this, you know what I mean? They're pointing guns at me. So I pulled my underpants down.
Grande.
I've gone like that and pointed and said,
Grande.
Grande. I said, no, Grande. Piccolo. But it was cold.
So you've been abused in a system.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that wasn't the end of it.
Go on.
The end of it. What was it?
They let us get dressed. They sent for the police. The police come with flashing
machine
sirens.
On the seat, man.
Driving them Alfa Romeos, weren't they? At the time. Took us to the police station. local police station, so we're in there.
They can't talk English.
And they can't speak
Italian.
Yeah. So Robert used to think if you put an O on the end of everything, we are from England, O.
My name's Roberto.
So I said again, non capisco Italiano. Inglese.
But it did save you before you still ended up doing
These,
but they understood what I was saying.
Yeah.
So I said, I've gone like that. Pen,
okay.
and paper.
So this is after, you didn't tell you about the part where you started singing Real Britannia.
Oh, yeah. So, what's her name? So, I drew like a cartoon character.
Right.
And I did 2 balloons. It was a woman with long hair, just cartoon thing. 2 balloons, and I put a name, Anna.
Okay.
Because even though they speak Italian, A is A, B is B.
Yeah.
So they read English, don't they, really? So I put Anna with an arrow pointing down. So Italiano coming out of one balloon, Inglese coming out of another balloon. And then I put the name of the family that they stayed with.
Changed the name.
And I put on it in jailer.
Yeah.
So it's the detectives who was with us. So they get the phone book out and they get the jailer phone book out and they ring the first. They want many of this name, Italian name. So they ring the first one. They put the phone down, ring the second one. When they get to the third one, took us out of the cell, put us in a room after the conversation. Made us brought us a glass of water, a bottle of water in. Dead nice with us.
Yeah.
And then this guy come who was a member of their family, Pino.
Pino.
It's called Pino.
Powerful guy.
All in a suited up. And you know them Italians know how to dress, man.
Yeah.
Nice suits and nice shirts. Immaculately dressed. He came into the police station. The police was all there in the uniforms, the detectives and that, and he just went. And that was it. They let us go.
Yeah.
And it was, you could see just by even though we didn't understand what they said,
you could tell
by the body language.
Yeah.
They was frightened to death of this guy.
Oh right.
And they just let us go. They said they give us a piece of paper. What it said we had to go back to see a magistrate in 6 weeks' time to get a thing called a sojourno, which is like a visa.
Yeah.
And needless to say, we've never fucking been back since. But yeah.
So how long was you missing? You know, because you're missing now. They think they're going to come outside.
Oh, they were still in prison.
They were still in the prison.
When they eventually come out of the prison, somebody told them about us getting arrested.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, it was Pino that took us home, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
But yeah.
Of course, what's your intentions?
Oh.
Because over there, you got some beautiful looking girls, haven't you? You know,
yeah.
Here, but over there, it's sand and all that. So we're looking, they kept saying to me, not aura. Don't look. Right? Because over there, they had a crime of passion and everything. And they kept saying, what's your intentions? We'll buy you a house and what business you want to start up, no problem. And I thought, if I stay over here, I'm going to get shot, you know what I mean? I got in trouble then, I was bad in them days,
I enjoyed it. We was there for 3 weeks.
Right.
He's mad, isn't he?
And it was great experience to look
proper
back
crazy, man. What an experience.
But getting back to how we got on this, we landed at Luton Airport when we come back. And we've got no money. All we've got is lira. About 50,000 lira, which was worth about £7. Anyway, I said to him, we're going to get home now, Robert. Robert always thought out of the box. He always got us out of a situation with a different way of thinking than everybody else, you know what I mean? So I said, we'll just get a taxi. So I said, we've got no money, Robert, you know what I mean?
You're going to get a taxi from Luton Airport?
From Luton, yeah. Anyway, we get in, and it's an Asian guy, wasn't it? So he said, listen, you take us to Manchester? So the guy said, yeah. So how much is it going to be? So he said, it's going to be about 70 or 80 quid, mate, in them days.
Yeah.
So he went, right, you accept it, all we've got is Italian money. So he said, oh, I don't know about that. So he said, well, look, 50,000 lira is 100 quid. Yeah, he said, so take that and keep the change. Yeah, all you got to do.
Doing us a favour.
Doing us a favour. Just go in the bank tomorrow. He went. He went. Are you sure it's 100 quid? I'm sure this is only about 80 quid or something. So I was holding myself in not to laugh because it was worth about 7 quid. Yeah. Anyway, he kept a dead straight face. And he drove us home, and it turned out he was a dead nice guy. He was talking all the way. Right to my house. Yeah, we made him a cup of tea and a sandwich.
And we fed him. You know what I mean?
The guy went back, but before he went, in them days, everybody left the phone on the side with a wire on it, and it had your number in the middle on the
big house phone.
Yeah, of course it did.
We didn't have mobile phones.
Yeah, of course your number was on it.
He took my number, didn't he? And when I say my was alive, listen, that money was only worth £6.50 or something. And I came all that way, you know what I mean? For months and months he was on the phone.
I'm telling you. Why didn't get your number, Robert?
So if that guy's watching now,
we're really sorry.
We are sorry, and Robert said he'll pay you if you ever pop down to Manchester.
To where you dropped him off.
Yeah.
Crazy
I don't know.
Robert, man, I've got right. I was saying before that you said something on the last video, right? And I thought I couldn't believe that I never asked you, right? But you said that you escaped prison.
I've done it a couple of times.
Did you?
But once, when I was on remand, what basically happened when I was on remand, the police were trying to get a guy to serve supergrass on me, yeah, but give me information which has nothing to do with me, but trying to fit the crime to me. And I was in Risley, I got shipped out of Strangeways, yeah. I come back one day from court and they just won't let me in the jail because they said that I was going to do him in the jail or Gavin done it. So they moved me to Risley. So what I used to do, I used to go to the gym every day, and I'm a pleasant guy, I talk to everybody, yeah. And I thought, I can't get out of here. So what I did was, I took some toothpaste, right, to make sure I go faster, yeah.
Did somebody tell you about it?
Yeah, over the years. So what's happened, all the screws know me as dead nice, keep fit, you know, dead nice, they used to call me a likeable villain, likeable Rogue. So when they see me ill now, there's something to Ozzy, you better get him to Ozzy, he's not like this, blah, blah.
Did you have an heart attack?
Yeah, but the first time they take me, I'm stoned off my box. They brought a new padmate in from Chester called Sandy, and he's got bags and bags of weed, skunk, not like it wasn't skunk then, it was Semelia.
Oh yeah, Sensimelia.
Yeah. Right, so I'm blooded before I've gone to the hospital in the morning. I'm absolutely blooded. At that time, I was with Julie, my daughter's mother. Right. And I've already arranged on the phone. Listen, I'm gonna get off. I'll meet you here in Manchester. Anyway, so they took me to the hospital. These two officers, right, and they took the handcuff off. And when I finished what they're doing to me and one's gone sat outside on the bench, dead sunny day like this. And this is the one's gone to the phone taxi. I'm sat there chatting to him, but I'm bloody Peter. I can't go nowhere, I'm stoned. I'm proper stoned, yeah.
So you've set yourself up with the toothpaste to have the % heart attack, but you're now too stoned to go anywhere.
Yeah. So I've gone back to the jail, right? So that night I phoned Julie up and she's gone, you're knobhead. I've been waiting for you, what have you done? So I explained it to her. I said, don't worry, I'll sort it out again. So I left it a couple of days, same procedure. But this time I get two right horrible twats with me. Who work for security in the jail. And they've got the handcuffs on, right? And the dog thing, right? So I thought, I wouldn't get out of here because I'm ready to go now. So I said, what was the toilet? So what they've done is, you put this chain on, you can take one cuff off, and put the chain on the other cuff, like a dog chain. And they're under the door. So, and I heard him say to them, when you go and phone the taxi. So I've come out, so I've got my leather coat off, So he's reached forward to do the cuff like that to put it back on this side. I knocked him out, man. Just sparkled him on the spot. And I got off, right? Little did I know, the second one's a jogger, right? And he was behind me for ages, Christopher. So I was like that. And my lungs have gone completely. And I'm
still running
right. But what's happened is, this other one's coming up behind him, but he's the drinker and plotting along, right? But I come up to this stream, right? And it had loads of weed in it. But I'm tired now. So I've got this piece of wood, a 2x4 on the road, and I've jumped into these weeds in the road, trying to get my breath back. Now, so you've got this stream, and then you've got an embankment, and another, what I thought was another stream, but it wasn't. Turned out not to be a stream, right? But I thought it was.
Yeah.
So I've heard this one say, Albert, he's in his weeds somewhere, is he? So I've come out there like Rambo, whack him, right?
Yeah.
And told me better go phone the police before I kill him. This is what I've said to
Yeah.
him, right? So he looked at me and thought, we've got a nutter here, right? So I've still got my stick, I've swam across this stream to this embankment, and I can always remember on the other embankment now, there's a guy running, big guy with a dog, jogging.
Yeah.
And I see him look at me like that, and I see him look over to these two officers, one dragging the other one out the water, and he must have thought I'm having none of that. Because I've come out there and, covered in mud with this big stick, and he just carried on running in. Right. But when I jumped to this other stream, it's gone glug, 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 it was a river. And I've got a big river, and I've ended up getting swallowing loads of water. Right? Anyway, I've swum across there. I've got to the embankment. I've gone to this embankment, and it was this car going past. And I put my hand on it, stopped. And you always remember it was a guy, his missus, and a kid. And he said, I'll give you a lift into. He said, I fell into the river. He said, I'll give you a lift into town. He said, well, look, and on the back seat, it was his batteries with jump leads on. Do you know, to run the car? I said, it doesn't matter about that, mate. Anyway, I got in, he dropped me off in Warrington Town Centre. I got a taxi to Manchester, I was gone. I was in Ireland the next day, they went mad. We went absolutely start raving mad.
Wow, a proper escapee.
The other one,
yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about it, was even more elaborate.
Oh, cool.
It was well thought out and planned, wasn't it? The other one, Greater Manchester Police. The roof, it was...
Is he going to escape from the van?
No, when you
Sorry.
Sorry.
Come on, you said you were going to turn that off.
No. I'm sorry, I'm just busy, you'll have to phone me back. Right, bye.
So,
come on, you got to tell me the more elaborate one.
The one with Julie in the...
Oh, I'm in London.
No, Julie, the screwess.
Oh, right, yeah, so...
Oh my God.
I'm in Garth prison, right?
How long was you doing?
I was doing 3.5 years.
Right.
But what's happened is, I've done about 4.5 years. I'm in Garth prison. But when I get to Garth prison, one of the POs, which is the principal officer, I've known him since he started the job, yeah?
Okay.
He used to come in my cell in Stradeway, we used to have a man, and we used to be smoking weed, and he'd say, what's that like? And I used to give him a cup puff. Yeah, he's great. I won't tell you his name because he's probably still in the system.
Okay.
Right. But a great guy. Anyway, so he gave me my red band, which meant I could go off the wing onto the corridor. You know, you couldn't go anywhere but onto the corridor.
Yeah.
Which led to other wings and education and that. And I noticed the education door only had one lock in it, right?
Right.
Anyway, I'd already caught this officer, Julie Thompson, she was called, right? And
oh no, go back. See, you're having.
I'm having an affair.
Told me
I'm having an affair. What's happening? I'm having an affair
with
this
screwette
called Julie Thompson, right? She's only been married 3 months, but I bamboozled her, yeah, right. So she's going to read my record. It's not the same person she's talking to. Do you know what I mean? Because in the police record, it looks like you're dead bad and mad and all that. And then my prison record is I'm a good guy. I get on with everybody. I'm dead pleasant.
Okay.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we started seeing each other. Anyway, I noticed that they only had one, because what happens is you have double locks in prisons, right, where they screw around at night and put double locks on so you can't get out. But I noticed the education block only had one key on it, which I knew she had, right?
Oh, right. So is that why you're having the affair with her? Or do you like her anyway?
No, well, yeah, it's in prison. I'm doing 3.5 years. What do you mean, do I like her? What to do?
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if you set her up for the key.
No. She all the screws out the keys got off the wing.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Yeah.
but because it was a single lock, they meant they could go into the education block. So that to me was a bed. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah. So I used to say, listen, I'm going to go off the wing, come off the wing. And we used to go in this education block. And when you walk in the education block, there's a table. And it's where the screws sit when you're coming in. They mark you off, tail or jaw, brown, whatever. We never used to get past that table.
Right.
Anyway, this went on for a while. I never told none of my friends. Not one of my friends did I tell about it because, you know, you don't tell people that. And then what happened was I got a day release from prison, right? She met me outside. And I've gone up to Yorkshire to see this other girl in prison, stopped in Moss Side, done what I was doing. And we ended up in Blackpool and I decided I'm not going to go back for a few days. So I phoned the prison up and said, listen, don't start panicking because I know they're going to know what's going to happen. All hell's going to let loose, right? Because it's me. So I said, listen, don't worry. I'll be back in a couple of days, yeah? Put the phone down. So I'm telling this Julie, listen, Julie, you're better off going home and going to work because please believe me, it'll blow up. Because they thought I'd threatened to kill a policeman, put his family in him in hideaways and all that nonsense. I had him, but it was a copy of framing. When I told you about an ID frame before, like, it's in 3 blacks and black Nigerian and me. right. So anyway, it's when there's something going on. Eurovision things going on in Europe anyway,
Right.
where everyone goes over there. So I was going to get out of the country in a caravanette, right? So I was getting her to do it. But the day she went to pick it up, all my mates in Manchester, they all get nicked.
Right.
There's about 9 of them in Collier's police station, different cells, right?
This is your girlfriend on the outside.
Oh yeah, she's
not the
locked up as well.
policewoman.
No, she comes out of her house in the morning with her husband of 3 months. Stops at the paper shop while he goes in to get paper.
Is this a screw-S?
Yeah, and then gets surrounded by the armed police, buff, yeah.
All right.
He ends up cracking up the husband, ends up in nut house when he read all the letters, sex letters.
Oh my
Right,
God.
yeah. So, and anyway, he didn't give her another look. He wouldn't let her take her uniform off. He just nicked her, and that was it.
Wow.
And she got 6 months, didn't she?
Yeah, I bet
She said to the judge, she said, I love him, and he's in, he shouldn't be in prison. So they just said, your job was to keep him in prison. He's an armed robber.
Did she not adjust your files for you?
Yeah, she did get me the day out.
To get him the day out.
Yeah.
So it looked like he'd done about 8 years and
Yeah,
13 years sentence, but he'd only done 4 and a half.
Wow.
So that's how he got.
But then what happened was I got took to Franklin prison, right?
Right.
And she used to come and see me. And one day she come and see me. She said, "Listen, I've sorted out the wedding. I've had the way with the governor. Blah blah. I'll get him married." Such time. I went, "Whoa, hold on a minute." I said, "Listen," I said, "I'm doing 30.5 years. When I come out, I ain't gonna be able to stay with one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's not right. We come from different walks of life."
Yeah.
And anyway, I let her down slowly. That was one. That was one of the few. I can't tell you some of the others because I was terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's how it was. And then, I was lucky because I was good looking and I had the gift of the gab, you know what I mean? And they knew they could trust me. I wouldn't go yapping the business, you know what I mean? So it was great.
Wow.
It was,
Oh my God.
It was good.
Yeah, it was.
Very good.
We best get back to the Reno.
Oh, yeah, that's.
yeah.
I mean, I can't remember anything spectacular happening down there. Never any fight. I know there was fights and drama and that, but never when I was there. And I went down on a regular basis, and it was just always nice.
Hey, well, a lot of people went there for music, didn't they? They was into music,
Yeah.
have a draw, mellow out, and put music, and they had little playing cars around the corner. But predominantly, people were there for the music because it was after 2 o'clock when most of the clubs shut in town.
That's right. Yeah.
Because we used to go to town a lot, didn't we?
Yeah, go to town and then go to the Reno, which a lot of people did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good days, weren't
I had some fantastic time at Reno. I really did. Yeah. I told you about the first time I went down there. I seen that black hand coming out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure you was with me that
Robert,
time.
I thought, why did she get arrested? How did they know she had anything to do with it
know
in
what?
the first place?
I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, I
Up to
can't
this
work
day,
out.
I don't know
Yeah.
why she got arrested, unless she mentioned it to somebody in the prison. You know what I mean? I don't know. 'Cause I didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell my best mate I used to out with because you don't. You know what I mean? I used to be there when a lot of the black guys from my side used to be trying to chat her up. I used to be looking at them laughing, thinking, "You carry on talking." You know what I mean?
Well, when it all happened, Greater Manchester Police hit the roof.
Yeah, it went berserk.
Manchester Evening News, big front page spread, picture of Robert, a picture of her, that jeweller, and all about how can this happen? This man's done 4 years, and the prison system gives him a day release. What's going on here and that.
That's probably how they found out, innit? Who gave you the day release?
Yeah, probably. I couldn't believe it when I stood outside the prison.
They probably
It's a Saturday morning.
checked on the records and how's he managed to get out so quick.
Yeah.
And then if they've looked back on it and probably found out that she's adjusted all the
she
record
signed
and
it.
That's probably
I was one of the first people to escape from the vans. You know the vans you have with where you lock you in the cell? I was one of the first people to escape from
the horse boxes.
Kicked the roof right off.
Did you?
Yeah, proper off dinner. I was gone. Yeah, they went mad to change them all then, didn't they?
I tried it afterwards, but I couldn't turn myself around. You have to turn yourself upside down and kick. I give up. We was nearly at Strange Ray's door then. I thought to myself, they're having shepherd's pie for tea.
I'm staying. You want to get Chris to put food in front of you.
Yeah, that's it.
With that big cow pie they used to give me in there. That was horrible. It was nice, filled you up and all that, but
It's horrible.
I'd always like to wonder what went in
Yeah,
there.
of course.
Stringy meat.
You know, it's terrible in there because you used to have to go for your, like, when you go for your breakfast in the morning, to give you a thin piece like me bacon, innit? You only get one piece. You used to have to put your tray like that. You're going to get it and put your hand and grab a load of it like that under the tray.
Right.
And your hand would be burning because it'd be hot. You know what I mean? Or it might be eggs you've grabbed, 3 boiled eggs because you're only getting one. And you used to be starving all the time, didn't you?
I when it comes to food, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, but I've always been a good eater who likes to sustain myself. So, with me, never in my life been a bully. But when I went round that server at Strange Ways,
you have to tell them, innit?
Dark them out.
Yeah, you have to dark them out.
Dark them out. So, they try all that one piece of bacon.
Yeah.
And you should just stand there and look at them. Be a screw stuck behind them, you know what I mean? And they'd look at me. And I could see it all over the face. I better give him more, you know what I mean? Don't want shit with him, yeah. 23.5 stone, you know what I mean? He was a big lad. And so that's what I used to do, you know what I mean? And I can remember getting in a scrap over it once. I was in the castle, Lancaster.
Yeah.
Was finishing off a 3.5-year sentence. Me and Ozzy Sadie worked together and all we did was laugh. But I can remember when I first went in there, I'd been kicked out of another prison, a YP centre, a young offenders centre, and they're for fighting and carrying on. And their idea was to put him in an adult prison, even though I think it was 20 then. And
right, yeah.
Or 19, and he was meant to be
21 it was, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, I remember going round for the server in the morning. And on a Sunday, you got cornflakes. And it was like a little thin ladle, what they put in the cornflakes.
Yeah,
We've gone right off the subject here because we are
go on.
about the Reno, aren't we?
Well, it's all part of it, isn't it? It's all part of it.
People waiting in the Reno, waiting in bloody Strange Ways. One time or other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyway, they used to put this little thin ladle in.
Like the smallest ladle you can get.
And put that on your tray.
As your cornflake.
And then the same ladle, or another ladle, with milk. So, I've done my usual thing, come round in the morning, bacon, darts him out, got more bacon, eggs, darts him out, got more eggs. The screws couldn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Want their
They just eat the food themselves,
yeah. And that went on along the server. But you always get one.
Yeah.
And
Schofield.
No, not a screw. A prisoner.
Well, the lad who thinks it's a screw, yeah.
Yeah, he thinks it's a screw.
Yeah.
Job's worth.
And this guy was a Scotch guy from Glasgow. And he give it all that, they think the cowboy and Indian sort, they think you're fucking frightened over it,
That's all Scotch.
So, anyway, what I used to do when I got to ease on the cornflakes, so I've darked him out, but he hasn't budged, he hasn't given me no cornflakes. But I've got a fucking big tray full of grub, I'm hungry, you know what I mean? So I got my big jug, my big plastic jug, and I put it in the milk, and I filled it to the top, put it under my tray and that. And he went, put it back. And I went, what? He went, you fucking heard me, put it back. I said, are you a screw? Where's your keys? So he said, I'm fucking telling you now. But he's making noise now. So
shots and screws.
Yeah. I'm telling you now, you don't take all that fucking milk. You only... Anyway, I didn't give him a second chance. The tray went over his fucking head. I gave him the best fucking good hiding he ever had.
I won't do it again.
He was splashing about in fucking milk and bacon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cornflakes.
You getting jacked.
We both got took down the block.
Yeah.
But now you're starving now though, Chris.
Yeah.
It's gone and everything.
You don't think you're going to feel like that afterwards, don't you?
Yeah.
This guy was older than me. He was probably about 30. I was 20, I think. And he's trying to talk to me from his cell to my cell.
Okay.
Wants to be a friend now.
Jammeh. I said, don't fucking Jammeh me. The minute I get out of here, I'm going to knock the fuck out of you. Yeah? So, no, listen, it shouldn't have been like that. I said, I know it shouldn't have been. This was all over milk. What wasn't even your milk, cunt. Sorry about my language.
Don't be daft.
So, anyway, when we went to see the governor on the Monday morning, the governor bollocked this guy, the footman, because he was older than me. He should have known better. So we both got, I think it was 7 days down the block, but he got a major bollocking. When we come out of the block, I got my opportunity a few days later, give him a fucking good hiding. And that was that. When I went round the surgery after that,
no trouble then.
Never had
What you like?
Yeah. Oh, they fed me well in that Lancaster.
What was you doing 3.5 years for? That was quite a big sentence.
I was 18. I lived in Hardwick on the flats there. It was called Fort Hardwick, Coverdale Crescent.
Yeah.
And they just built a pub there called the Hardwick Empire. It's now demolished. It was a brand new pub. And outside the pub, they hadn't put the flags down. So the pub it wasn't opened, it was just about to be opened, but they hadn't put the flags down outside. Me, Robert, and another good friend of mine, Paul Wellington, we're in a knocked off car. And we get chased by the police, don't we? So I'm pissed, mate. We've been drinking. Get chased down by the police, and we go down a dead end, and the van's right behind us. There's only one copper in it. Everybody jumps out, and the fucking copper runs after me. Anyway, he gets me. I think he was straight out of the army or something. I wasn't fighting or, being allowed to be carried in a stolen car. He was only ever going to get a fine or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but he does. We're at where the mud is around the pub, and he does this fancy move on there. I don't know what it was. Kick my feet from under me or something. Whack! I'm in the mud, but my face is in the mud, and then the guy puts his foot on the back of my head.
Yeah.
And if I ever thought any time in my life that I was going to die, it was then. My life flashed in front of me. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't breathe anything. And he's got the full weight of his foot on my head. Anyway, it was desperation, absolute desperation. I managed to get up. And that was it then. Once I got up, you know what I mean, and knocked the fuck out of it.
You've turned Hulk.
Oh yeah. But then, what he's done, the damage got done in the police station, Whitworth Street Police Station in town. Still there now. They use it for filming, but it's not.
It's got wooden pillars, isn't it?
It's connected to the fire station.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I am going fucking berserk, and the guy's pressed his button, because he's getting battered. He's pressed his button, and loads of police come. So in them days they had little wooden truncheons. I got battered to
a few of them bounced off me napper in the back in the day.
Yeah. And in them days you could get away with it.
Yeah.
And Greater Manchester Police today is named and shamed as racist.
Yeah, definitely.
From the top to the bottom. Yes. We all know that. They can say whatever they want, you know what I mean?
Blaze it over,
when the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police names that, this is institutionally racist from the top to the bottom, but we've known that for years.
Day one.
Because we've been on the receiving end of that racism. Yeah. So, anyway, in them days it was more racist. Now they have to be a little bit more subtle about it.
More clever.
There's cameras about, and there's rules and regulations in place in that. So they have to be very, very careful. It still doesn't stop them shooting black people.
No.
They do it on a regular basis.
Throughout the world they do it.
Yeah, but they do it in here.
Yeah, of course they do, man.
That guy in London, the Outcast guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They said he had a gun.
And then,
found
after. Not like lifted the gun up to fire it.
So
they shot him dead, didn't they? Didn't it to the guy in the Huddersfield a few weeks ago? Asian lad.
On the motorway.
They shot him dead. Didn't use any gun or anything, they shot him dead through the window.
So, anyway, what's her name? Get to Whitworth Street Police Station. I'm going berserk in the back of the van, and they've all got out.
He was big, you know, he was like, you know what I mean, a gorilla, right? He's built like a gorilla. Man.
I'm held onto the bench seats, and this guy come like a Dixon of Dock Green type character. In his 50s, you know.
Oh, right.
He's come to the back of the van and he's gone, Chris, what are you doing? What's going on here? Calm down, behave yourself. He says, you're in trouble. He said, but not a lot of trouble, being in a nick car. Come on, he said, there's a cup of tea here for you, put plenty of sugar in it for you. Calm down, you're going to stay the night with us. Get your head down, get you sorted out in the morning. I thought, it's nice, Put my head out the fucking van. I've still got the scar on my eye. Bang, fucking side of the van with a big truncheon. Split my fucking eye wide open. And then I got battered, dragged out the fucking police van in the street by 6 or 7 of them. Dragged round past the desk sergeant. You went in and then you come back round on yourself to the cells at Whitworth Street, and it was all them tiled cells and baths. And I'm getting kicked and batoned, and slung from one end to the other. And I was a big guy, but there was like a lot of them doing it.
Must have been terrifying.
Oh
though.
yeah, the terrifying.
No, seriously.
Yeah, you realise.
You don't know if you're going to.
No, you realise they can kill you.
Yeah,
get away with it.
Get away with it.
No, exactly.
You do realise that.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
Anyway, at the bottom of the bottom in the police cells in them days, there was a shovel, you know, them little hand shovels, like metal, and it comes out flat like that. I've picked that up, and then I've gone berserk with the shovel. And but it was
self-defence.
Yes, it was. Yeah, you have to defend yourself, man. I know. I've had some personal experience.
And I do believe that day, if I hadn't defended myself, I would have been seriously maimed that day. You know,
it was like that in them days. You know, they took the piss out of you, they would do.
No, it's cowboys in India.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I used to let them know me if he was coming to fight me, they better come to go all the way because I was done a bit, mate. They used to interview me through the hatch. Swear to God, not people bringing me up. They used to come, open the hatch, and interview me through the hatch. Would open the door, take me to an interview room.
Why?
Glad that was off my head. I didn't care.
And I think in them days you had to be a bit that way, or you wouldn't have survived a lot of the times. They still get away with it today, not on the scale that they did.
Then,
but in them days, it's a bit of paperwork. They all write it off. They all pissed in the same.
They all mark the same books at the time. You know, copy the notes, don't they? So they've got it right.
Well, when it comes
it didn't even matter though, really, did it? To the outside world, even.
Well,
it wouldn't matter.
It's only later on when people started realising that police weren't as white as they made out to be. You know, that people did tell lies. You know what I mean?
When it comes to major incidents like 97 people being killed at Hillsborough, and then 20, 30 years later, it all comes out that they all corroborated together. All the police, all got the notebooks, all in order with each other, and tried to blame it on the fans. Said the fans was drunk, and that's what caused 96
because they
deaths.
didn't do the job proper.
You know, so I think with major incidents like that happening, and then the miners. When what they did to the miners is
it's terrible.
Not only did the government starve them back to work, but the police was instrumental in that.
Back to work.
You know, putting up signs. The overtime I've got, I've just bought a new caravan with it. Do you know what I mean? In them days, they made me sick. I can see
the change.
There has to be. We have to have law.
Yeah, you got to have law, man.
Yeah,
you got to have law.
I can see that. But not on the scale it was then, and some of the things it was
breaking the law,
getting away
to get
with
somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't bend the law to fit it to you. If you're supposed to be the law, you're supposed to be a certain way. You can't change the rules and regulations or tamper with evidence to make you guilty. That's wrong, and it's what goes on. And it's wrong, it's out of order.
But it's just a simple thing about asking someone what happened as well. Like if someone stopped and said to a 20-year-old boy, why the fuck did you do that to that policeman? And you said, because I thought I was going to die, my face was in water. It's as simple as that.
Well, I honestly believe, I would like to think I'm above average intelligence. I honestly believe with my hand on my heart, if I hadn't have done what I'd done, I wouldn't be here today talking to you. Or if it was here, I'd be in a wheelchair. brain injuries or something like that. That was in 1976 when that happened.
Okay.
It was a long, long time ago. I'm 60 now.
You still remembering like that?
Do you know, to this day, when the police ever have to come to my house, I've not been in trouble with the police since. I've led an honest and industrious life. I've always been a grafter.
Yeah.
And that, I'm quite pleased with that. But recently, about 3 years ago, I was living with my missus at the time, and I was watching one of them old black and white film, Where Eagles Dare.
Yeah.
Watched it a million times, great war film. It was a Saturday afternoon, but my kid at the time, my youngest one, was only about 7, and he's running in and out with all his mates and making loads of noise. So I've got my own flat. So I thought, I'll go to the flat to watch this in peace. So I've gone to the flat, and it's a lovely sunny day. I've got shorts on, flip-flops, make a quick brew, and I'm all settled on the settee, the door's open, and I've got a lovely garden, what I like,
it's lovely.
and I'm watching this in peace, and the next thing I hear, my gate go, squeaks, but I don't see anybody. I'm still lying on settee, but I know there's somebody there because the gate squeaked. So I get up and I go to the door, and I look at the gate and I say, there's a copper stood there. So I said, can I help you, mate? He went, oh yeah, my inspector just wants to have a word with you.
What?
So I said, right, so I live on a gable end. So next thing, another copper come, and another one come, then another one. Eventually, there was 10 policemen lined up on my fence. Out of that 10, about 4 of them were them PCSOs.
What does that mean?
Well, they're not the plastic policemen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
They can't, they're apprentices, aren't they? Apprentice coppers. They don't get paid the right money, and they get all the shit jobs, basically, you know what I mean? What the real police don't want to do. Anyway, and they've got no powers of arrest or anything like that. So this inspector comes round the corner eventually, and he's got a warrant, but he wants to barge past me and walk right in the house. So I said, well, hang on a minute, Arcade. I said, I can read and write. Let me see your warrant, and if the warrant's right, I haven't got a problem. I said, but I have got a problem with the PCSOs. They're not coming in here. Mm. So he said, they're training. I said, they're not training in my house. Yeah. So we'll get that right before we go even further. I'm not here to be provocative, but
what did they have a warrant for?
Well, I'll tell you now. So they had a warrant to look for a stolen Samsung Galaxy S3 phone, which I had at the time, an Apple iPhone. So, and I knew, I'm a straight member. You come in my house 24 hours a day and you won't find anything what is illegal. So I looked at the warrant. We agreed that the PCSOs stay outside, but there's still 6 of them in my house. And they searched my house from top to bottom. I'll never forget, this policewoman said, oh, I've spilt your cornflakes. I said,
oh, not cornflakes again. She could have died. Go on.
She could have died.
Yeah. Little did she know. Go on. Yeah.
She said, I said, excuse me, I said, have you had your hands in the cornflakes? So she went, yeah, but I've got these gloves. I said, no. I said, have you had your hand in any other cereal, with porridge or sugar puffs? And sugar puffs. That broke my heart. Yeah, so,
mine's Cocoa Pops. Go on.
She went, yeah, but I'm just doing my job and I've got these gloves. And I said, no, just put them all to one side. I said, I don't know where you've had your hands now, do I? So, and I threw them all out, put them in a bin bag, threw the lot out when they went. So, they didn't find anything in the house. What he did do, what I thought was a bit underhanded, was I said, can I have a look at your phone? So I said, yeah. And he takes my phone off me and turns his back on me with my phone. But my phone's got a lock on it.
Right.
So I said, what are you doing, mate? So he said, no, I won't be in it. So I said, but he couldn't get in it because of the lock. So then he's turned back to me and he said, can you unlock it? So I said, no, I can't. I said, is that a Samsung Galaxy S3? He went, no. I said, right, give it me back, please. And he gave me my phone back. I don't know what he was going to do to this day. Anyway, when they left, yeah, they didn't make a mess. I have to say that. Apart from the cereals.
Fucking up your cereals.
Yeah, so when they left, he said, have you got an issue with the way we've conducted this search today? I said, no, I haven't got an issue with that. What I have got an issue with, and I will be putting a complaint in, all I want from you is the phone number or the address where I put my complaint, is the amount of officers that you've put into this on a Saturday afternoon, why this amount of officers have come for a stolen phone.
But why have they come to you at all for a stolen phone?
Well, I'll tell you that now. I said, and why you've come here in the first place for a stolen phone. Anyway, I didn't get much at school, but I got an O-level in English literature. I can read and write. And I typed up a lovely letter to the IPCC and sent it off. Yeah, I sent it off, and a few days later, and I was asking the questions why you came to my house for a stolen phone, and what information led you to, and they probably couldn't tell me that, but led you to come to my house.
No, but it's a valid question.
Yeah.
If you're just a straight worker, why?
And the amount of officers to say, of all the cutbacks the police have got today, they've not even got canteens, have they? They're having the breaks in Asda and Tesco's. But which is a bit unfair on the shoplifters, I think. They've all got to go to Poundland now. So, but what's named? So I asked the questions. A few days later, one of them phoned me up, and he said, "Well, it was received your complaint and this, that, and the other." So he said, "But I can answer your questions over the phone." So I said, "What is it?" So I said, "Why did you come there?" He said, "Your Wi-Fi in my flat was used as a hotspot." Yeah? So I said, "My Wi-Fi." And when I checked, I'll be honest with you, it didn't have a web key on it. I'd left it wide open. Yeah.
Oh, right, so it wasn't secure.
Well, I was living with her and I was just popping in the flat doing my invoices on my computer, and it was, my Wi-Fi was left open. So it could be used like a McDonald's or a Costa Coffee.
Okay. Mine's secure, I know what you mean. Yeah, mine's got a lock on it.
But it still pissed me off why they come to my house, because that zone, I did all my research, and an Apple iPhone had a zone, an Apple iPhone had a pickup zone of 30 metres. What's the name? The Samsung Galaxy S3 had 90 metres, which is over 100 feet. So why my flat?
Yeah.
Why couldn't it have been anybody else's? You know what I mean? But they pinpointed it and said it was mine. And the other thing, which it didn't surprise me, I got done for that copper, saving my own life, by the way.
76.
In 1976, I was 18. I am now 60. I was, at the time, probably about 57, 58. And when I asked him the question, why did you put 10 police officers, all them resources on Saturday afternoon, for a stolen phone, he told me it was because of my past criminal violent record. And yet that's the only bit of violence that is on my, it was a one-off, it was stupidity, I realise that now, but I was saving my own life. You know, the copper's arm got broke in 3 places with a shovel. If I hadn't have had that shovel, I wouldn't be here speaking to you now. And he was retired. But all these years later, and they just won't let it die. Yeah.
No, don't.
And to send that amount of coppers to the house, you know, and they don't take into account that you've never been in trouble with the police since, that you've led a honest and industrious life. They don't take that into account. It's just something they see on a computer. Oh, look at him, violence. We'll send 10 of them. And they come with the chest puffed out. They come for trouble. Confrontation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
But you flagged, it's red flagged, you see. Records red flagged, no.
That's it.
How long have you two known each other?
Wow, since he headbutted me on the bus when I was about 14 coming home from school.
Yeah, we got me back.
Oh, got him back,
And since then we've been best of mates ever since. We've done everything together. I've been all over the place. Done everything what mate's supposed to do.
Yeah. We used to just get off without a penny in our pockets, and we'd end up in Amsterdam or somewhere like that. You know what I mean? Brilliant.
Fantastic.
I can remember when we run away to London, and you was in care. And I think it was only about 15, 16 or something, and you was in care, and we're walking around Soho in London, big bright lights, and it gets darker and darker.
Had you run away because Robert had been put into care?
No, we just decided we wanted to see the world.
Oh, okay.
London. So I think we hitchhiked it to London, didn't we? And but we've not got a penny in our pocket, but it was young and naive and daft.
You're versatile, aren't you?
Yeah, versatile. And romantic as well, and it's not eternal.
Situation.
You know.
She says I'm a romantic, mate.
No, but it's adventurous.
No, exactly, but that's part of being romantic as well, isn't it? Adventuring and just thinking, oh, anything will turn up.
No, we're not romantic. We're all hang on a minute. I'm a ladies' man.
Just used to just dig off and survive, basically, didn't we?
But, I mean, I can remember we was hungry in the daytime walking around, not got a penny in our pocket. And we run in a butcher's shop and both nicked a black pudding on a tray.
Yeah.
And walked off down the street eating it. It filled us up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Raw black pudding, you know what I mean? But anyway, the very first night, the police picked us up about 2 o'clock in the morning, walking round Soho and looking at all the shop windows at all the ladies of the night and all that.
Oh.
It was dead exciting, wasn't it? Not a care in the world about where we're going to sleep or where our next meal's coming from. Anyway, a copper pulled us and he took us to a police station called West End Central. An old police station looked like Bootle Street, didn't it? It's probably not there now. I think I was 15, he was 15. Anyway, but he's in care. So the interview was, we run away from home, blah, blah, blah. We hadn't committed no crime. And they didn't know about the black puddings. So, what's the name? I'm sorry I mentioned that now about the black puddings. We're going to get done for it.
Yeah, I knew he was up to no good. You know the 10 coppers that was outside your house? Yeah.
Chris Jammeh, the black pudding thief.
Yeah.
So, anyway, they sent his care worker from London the next day. They fed us and we was in the same cell, weren't we? And about 5 o'clock the next day, they sent his care worker for Robert. So when he come in and that, I'll come to drive you back to Manchester because he was in care. And I said, what about me? So he went, oh, I can't, I'm not insured. So
Oh, right,
in the car and all that.
With the red tape.
Yeah, in them days, you know what I mean? So I thought, you can tamper with all the kids in the care home. You're not insured to drive me. Manchester, you know what I mean? Yeah? Something wrong here, you know what I mean?
Don't sound right.
Yeah, don't say it.
But Robert's going to get tampered with now and I can't defend him.
But at least he's going to get a lift.
Yeah, I think he was bigger than him if I remember him right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, thinking, well, what's going to happen to me now? You know what I mean? I'm stuck here in London. And then
I've had to become a rent boy.
Well, no one's in a police cell. Anyway, what's her name? And when he went, I'm in the cell on my own, so everything seems dark. And,
oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, you did.
So you got only 4 me, I think.
Yeah, anyway, about an hour later, right, come on, you're going now. And I'll never forget, they gave me a can or a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
and a bag of crisps. It's alright, you know what I mean?
It's happy now, yeah.
Sat in this car, this police car in the back, but it was an unmarked police car.
Yeah.
I'm driving, thinking, oh, they must be driving me home. Better eat me crisps, you know what I mean? Eating me crisps. Driving away. And I kept seeing these signs, Heathrow Airport.
Oh, never.
Fucking hell, they're not going to deport me to Gambia.
I've never been there.
I was born here in Manchester, you know what I mean?
Desert.
Anyway, Heathrow Airport put me on a fucking plane. That was the first plane I'd ever been on.
Oh, wow.
20 minutes later, I was in Manchester. What's up in the air? I think they gave me a bag of crisps, Coca-Cola as well. Landed at Heathrow, and my mum at Manchester, and my mum was there to meet me.
Oh.
Took me home. Yeah,
What did your mum say?
She was crying. My son's been on the plane.
Oh.
But,
I think I escaped again and come to yours, man. Because you got back before me. I couldn't understand how you got home dead quick. And I had this long car system.
5 hours.
Yeah, like 20 miles an hour.
Driving this day.
So like, hurry up, come on.
Yeah. Funny when you think of the old times like that, I know, Robert.
Crazy days.
But the whole of the Reno, everybody in the Reno though was like that, weren't they? You know, just adventurous like
that's
that.
the word, adventurous.
Yeah,
everyone was, man.
Everybody.
You know, it was like everyone wanted just to do things and get off and, you know,
Yeah.
do new things.
I can remember being in Lancaster with Ozzy. They put me and Ozzy together, working with a civilian screw. His name was George. And if you can remember the programme, George and Mildred.
Yeah, of course
you can. Yeah.
That George, who was with us, used to just look like him. Spit of him. With the brown overalls on, but he used to have keys.
And the brown old screw overalls.
And he'd come for us every morning. Oh, and Ozzy used to make me laugh, man, honestly. If he didn't bring us a packet of digestive biscuits, because we went out of the prison every day.
Yeah.
Working, doing jobs on the farm or in some of the screws houses and that. And if you didn't bring us a packet of digestives every day, a small packet like that, and give us, I think it was 4 cigs a day each, or something, you know, on our breaks.
Yeah.
Ozzy used to say to me, right, Chris, he was dead, he's got a fucking dry sense of humour.
Yeah.
Honestly, and he can keep a straight face where I couldn't. He'd say, right, Chris, no digestives, we're putting an embargo on him. He used to say an embargo, yeah, we're not speaking to him all day. So we'd be working and he'd be answering his questions. And when it got to about 11 o'clock, he'd be like that, George. Oh, come on, lads, don't be like this. It's a long day for us, this. And Ozzy, he didn't say much, but when he did, he'd say, no, you didn't bring the digestives. Make sure you bring them tomorrow and we'll speak to you then.
Some of them civilian workers were alright, weren't they?
He was a cracking guy, that George.
Alright, seriously.
Getting blackmailed.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are just human, you know.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Once you get to know them, once you look past the point of you being in a prison, they got to know you as a human being. A lot of them were, very amicable, weren't they? Nice, man. You used to give him like a bit of tobacco, a bit of extra tobacco. You weren't asking me in them days to be drugged in because you weren't into that.
No.
So a bit of extra tobacco, went a long way in prison,
He was a belting guy, that George.
Yeah.
And the only reason that he never brought the biscuits in because he forgot them. You know what I mean? He got the biscuits, so we didn't speak to him all day.
70
they was good old days in Lancaster prison. You wasn't there with me. You was in Swinford Hall with me, wasn't you?
Yeah.
For a while. So I got kicked out, you know what I mean?
Then I went to Preston and had an affair with a teacher.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
You went to Preston and had an affair with a teacher? How old was the teacher and how old was you?
I was about 30 then, wasn't I?
No.
Oh, a teacher.
When we was in Swinford Hall was a YP centre.
Yeah, but I was
actually to be under.
I was terrible with him.
Yeah.
I could zap him. He used to call it tailor zapping. He used to call him a tailor zapper. Bang, that was it. Seriously.
The only time he ever had a problem with women was when he went drinking with me.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, he couldn't get a look in then, could he?
Oh, right.
No, I used to hate going out with him in them days because, yeah, he was a good-looking guy, you know what I mean? And the women used to swoop, drop at his feet, you know what I mean? And you got the leftovers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there was, like I say, great days, weren't there?
Tell us a day, a night that you two were in the Reno together. Just tell us one incident when you two were in the Reno, with him with swooping women to the floor and all kind of shit.
We went there regular, didn't we? A lot of the time.
I always remember, I told you this last time, I always remember this girl, right? And when we were going down the Reno, me and you, I think Dave Chad was with us. And she was dressed in the Indian gear, the suede skirt and the tassel.
Oh, like a red,
like
an American
Indian,
red Indian.
And she just stood out for everybody. And I remember I think it was me and Derek Barnes or Dave Chad, but we was vying for her attention. You know what I mean? Vying for her attention, man. I think I locked him in the toilet in the Reno. Yeah, I jammed him in the toilet and left him in there. It was all stinking sour sewage in there. It was horrible, that toilet, wasn't it?
I don't know, I've never been in the men's one, but I've heard it was rancid.
They sold food in there as well, didn't they, Reno?
Yeah. They sold Donald, didn't he? Chinese guy.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love his chicken, man.
So did you get off with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her for a few months as it goes. Yeah, it was quite. I was terrible.
Was that the stripper one?
No, not the stripper one.
Oh, right.
The stripper one?
That was the ex-father-in-law used to run the routes.
Oh, yeah.
Used to run the routes, and I was with the daughter, Julie. And one day, this bird called Julie stripping, and she was really fit.
Oh, you did. You told us last time.
Yeah, she's with somebody else now, isn't she?
Yeah.
Very close, you know what I mean? She's been with him for like 30 odd years, and they got 5 kids now.
I think that's why I don't speak to him.
I think so, yeah. I think he's just a bit, insecure.
Yeah, but then if you take somebody else, if you take somebody on, and you know her past, who she's been with and all that, then you have to accept that. There's no point in falling out with the other guy, is there? Who was before you anyway.
I don't mind.
And that's why I haven't fell out with you over it.
He asks me like this all the time.
No, it wasn't me, by the way.
No. Lads are weirdos though, aren't they? The little moves on each other and what you forgive and what you hold on to and all that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't compute in our world.
I can tell you a little movie he made on me. Actually.
Oh, go on.
Come round to my house one day. He was having problems at the time, Robert. We won't go into that.
No, that's all last time.
Oh, right. Well, Robert had drug issues for years and years. It's great now to have my friend back. From years and years in the wilderness. He was in the wilderness for years and years. I used to say to him, Robert, it's like you're in a goldfish bowl and we're all looking in at you.
Aww.
And now it's to see you out of the goldfish bowl, looking in, and his life's changed so much dramatically for the best. Been on holidays, got a lovely home, lovely woman, getting married. Do you know what I mean? It's all up and up and up. But for a few years, Robert had problems. And he came to my house one, and yet, through all them years, we always remained friends.
Wow, that's quite something, actually.
Yeah.
It was proper.
I seen it when he went off the rails. And I seen it, I was there all along, and I seen him when he come back on the rails, you know what I mean? And it's nice. But he come round one night and he said, my own fault, maybe I should get a pair of fucking glasses, but I should have went to Specsavers because we give us 20 quid on this ring. He said, I'll come back for it tomorrow, I promise you. And I said, fucking hell, Robert, you do this all the time, man, you know what I mean? No, it's our engagement ring, me and Tammy's.
Tammy?
Yeah, you and Tammy. It's our engagement ring, and I never want to lose that. I've had it fucking 5 years. It's the only thing I've never sold and all that. So I said, right, all right, Robert, give him. He said, look, there's a stamp in it. And look, there's a stamp, a lovely engagement ring. Anyway.
Look at him laughing, man.
He's laughing because he knows what's coming. So anyway, he don't come back for it. And I had a little box in the house, and any little bits of jewellery, which was from, broken chains and things like that. And if somebody come and was selling something, an old broken ring for £5 or £3, I'd throw it in the box. But gold at the time was going up and up and up. So it was probably about 4 years ago now. It's Christmas time, and I thought, I'll go and weigh that gold, and there's got to be 300 or 400 quid there. Anyway, when I was going, I said to my missus at the time, I said, I'm going to weigh this gold, and somebody told me where to go on Tip Street. I said, you've got a few bits and pieces, do you want to come with me? So she said, oh, no, she said, can't you take mine for me? So I said, yeah. She went, what do you think I'll get for that? About 100 quid or something like that. So I said, well, I don't know. I said, come with me and you'll find out yourself. So she said, yeah, I will. Anyway, we go down to this place on Tip Street, and it was all broken bits and pieces, but gold at the time, like I say, the price of it was through the roof. So the guy's taking out all the stone, he examines every little piece, all the stones out, and putting them to one side. He's separating 18 carat from 9 carat, this, that and the other. And he throws this ring back at me, this gold engagement ring of Robert's. So I said, that's gold, that, mate. So it's 18 carat. But no, dead straight face. No, it isn't. So I said, fucking it, it's got a stamp on it. He went, oh, he said, yeah, I'll have a look with the eyeglass. And when I looked with the eyeglass, I looked at the stamp and it said M&S.
Oh, what a bastard!
I didn't know.
You did know. You did know. You knew. You knew.
Fucking Marks and Spencer. You know the old saying, you should have went to Specsavers.
Yeah.
But, for my goal that day, I came out of there with 1,500 quid. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And I should have took her gold because she was only expecting 100 and she got 550. I'd have brought her 150 back, you know what I mean?
You know why?
Oh no, I'm married to her, not her.
Not that one.
No.
Right, have you got anything wonderful to tell me about the Reno? Because everyone's going to say, it's supposed to be about the Reno, it's supposed to be about the Reno.
Yeah, but I think every video that I've watched, they talk about the life.
No, exactly.
More than they talk about.
And it's interesting.
The Reno.
Yeah, exactly. Because we are the Reno.
Yeah, that's it. We
was
part and parcel of the Reno. It's part of our history. Well, and it played a part in our lives, in a major part. But also, we had other major things going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Because obviously, when you want to go down there, you want to go down with cutting style and things, you know what I mean?
Part of our growing up, I suppose, especially in our 20s, not so much today.
Yeah.
Every year, we all went, didn't matter where you lived, Moss Side, Clayton, Openshaw, everybody met and congregated at the Alec Park, Moss Side Carnival.
Oh yeah, the carnival.
Yeah. And that, for me, was great. For many years, I used to go with Gary Dalrymple.
Yeah, Gary, yeah.
And this guy called Pete, who's sadly no longer with us. And we used to take all our beer with us.
Yeah.
And we'd get our asses down there in a taxi. We'd spend all day there, and you'd see people who you've not seen
for years.
Yeah.
I think it was a funeral now.
Yeah.
And where, for me, that Alec Park Carnival went wrong was I met my woman, and we had our youngest one at the time was Marcus, and Marcus was only about 2.5 or something. So we go to the carnival, and what's her name? My oldest one, to her, that is. So we go to the carnival. She's pushing him in a buggy.
Oh yeah.
But there's thousands and thousands of people at the carnival. Now, well, he's 23 nearly now, and he was about 2.5 then. So we're going back
20 years.
20 years, and that's how long I've never been back to it.
Me too. We were talking the 90s, aren't we?
Yeah. And what happened? A load of guys just come steaming.
I've not been back since the same thing.
Yeah. And they fired loads of gunshots in the air. And I see there was women with lots and lots of women with kids. I've always said a stray bullet has got no discrimination.
That's right. No, not at all.
Yeah. And that could have been my kid.
Anybody.
No, you're right. I've never been back since. I know the one you're talking.
And I can remember the park emptying in minutes. People just running out the park.
Scared.
And they spoiled it.
It's terrified when it happens.
Yeah.
You know, because you see everyone panicking. The kids like just getting pushed to the ground now. It's horrible.
Yeah. Just them few people, probably about 50 or 60 people.
Yeah, because prior to that, my mum and dad never went anywhere. They were kind of like a bit anti-social and stuff, but they always went to the carnival.
Yeah, because you could drive your car in there.
Yeah,
I remember I had an open top Porsche. Remember I had that black Porsche? And we used to drive it in. Because it was a shiny big Porsche, you know.
Has to be seen.
Classic, yeah.
Has to be seen.
And we'd sit up there and just, but then they stopped it all, didn't because of all them idiots.
But you see, them same guys, who was probably all in the teens and 20s then, must now sit back as adults,
reflect,
kids of their own, and they must say to themselves, well, I would never like that to happen. They must be a bit ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, no, because they must be like 40 now, mustn't they?
Yeah, so they must have their own kids, and they must sit in that position that I was in, and thousands more like me, and think to themselves, I would never ever like that, to be in that situation while me and my woman are pushing our kid. Because it was a horrible, horrible feeling. And like you say, when you're young and you're wild,
you've got no respect for nobody. That's the thing. You know, we have respect for people.
I think now them same people must reflect on that and think about it. And if there was one of them, they must be a bit embarrassed or ashamed about it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You know that thing though, you're just saying having no respect for nobody, right? You know, I always turn a bit serious. Do you think that's because nobody had no fucking respect for us?
Well, I don't know, because, I told you my first one was I used to make people respect me either through fear or through respect, because the lifestyle we had.
But that's not just simple respect.
No, it isn't. No, you have to get respect, you know.
You have to earn it.
You have to earn your respect, of course you do.
I don't think you can ever get respect by force.
No, you don't get respect by force. You do things because they're feared for you, which isn't the respect you want.
No.
That's not the respect you want. But in them days, I used to think, well, you know, if they can't respect for myself, they're going to be scared of me. End of story.
What I just mean is, what keeps sticking in my head is him and this Chris having his face in the fucking mud.
Yeah, because
that's terrifying, man.
Yeah, that's what
I can imagine that being... No, exactly, but there's no respect for your life.
No, that's right.
And from that moment, there's no respect for you even being able to tell that story.
Yeah.
You know, like, please get off me, I'm so frightened. You can't say that.
No.
That's not going to stop nothing, is it? Do you know what I mean?
I couldn't say that because my face was
in it's anyway.
And he had the full force of his body.
Yeah.
With one foot on my head. How I managed to get up, I really don't know. I do know, but I can't tell the story on this camera. It's another story that I'll tell you in a bit. But
no, but I'm just saying the lack of respect. We had a lack of respect.
Yeah, because we weren't acknowledged as people. That's why.
There you go.
You know
that's what I. That's what I.
Yeah. You know, I've always seen myself as British. I was born here. I'm quite proud of the country that I live in.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of in the territorials. I ended up going to the Falklands on a tour, a 4-month tour, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Got paid, and I tell a little joke in the territorials. You always go out, you fight wars, and you're always back home in time for tea. I used to say to my mate who attacked me on the field, well, what are you doing? Couldn't you just wait till Monday in the canteen? I've always seen myself as I am British, and I'm proud of being British. This is my country. I know my heritage is in the Gambia, West Africa.
What's your mum? Where's your mum
from? Bury,
Lancashire.
In fact, in the Gambia, they just ousted the president there, who was the president by a military coup for the last 20 years.
Oh, okay.
And what a bastard he was.
Ousted him.
And you know what his name was, don't you?
Jammeh.
President Jammeh.
I bet you related somewhere.
He had a look of my dad.
Oh, okay.
He had a look of my dad, quite broad and very, very black, bluey black Gambians are.
Yeah.
But he did have a look at my dad. But yeah, they just ousted him. And the new president there now used to be, this is politics for you today, used to be a security guard at, what do you call it? Toys R Us in London.
Well, how the fuck's he got to...
He's now the president of the Gambia.
That's what Africa's like, though.
Yeah, his name's Barrow. His second name is Barrow. Because he was always involved in politics.
Okay.
I think he left the country as a nobody, but he left through fear of being arrested because of his political views. And
So why was you saying you were born in this country and you're proud to be born in this country and was talking about no respect?
I am proud to be born in this country, and I think views have changed today where more and more people accept us. Mixed race, black people who was born here as British. Yeah. If there was a war tomorrow and Britain went to war with anybody, there'd be an awful lot of black people, mixed race people, Asians on that front line.
I think we accept ourselves as being British,
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
we are.
have as
Yeah,
well.
of course, yeah.
You know,
of
as we've
course,
got older, it's just like we are who we are.
Yeah,
Because
we are
I
who we
think
are.
it was a bit mixed up when we were
Well, we was, 'cause
teenagers.
we had no, like we said last time, right? The blacks didn't like us and the whites didn't like us, you know, we used to get it from both sides, and it was terrible because in them days, like I said, you had a white mate and he'd make some comment about some black bastard this. And I used to have to say, oh, and I was light skinned, so it was even worse for me. He'd say, hold on a minute, I am black, don't be called him black. Yeah, but you're not like that, Robert. You mean I'm not like that, Robert? Yes, I am, I'm black. Mixed race, I'm black. You don't call me you white honky, you call me you black bastard. End of story.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, and you have to go through all that crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and not knowing who you are, really, not having an idea.
No,
And as we've got older, I think we've grown into just being comfortable with.
And I think
fucking born here, what's going to happen now? Now it's going to happen no different.
I think more and more people, as the years have gone by, there's white families that was purely white that are now integrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've got mixed race kids or black brother-in-laws or you know, so I believe, don't get me wrong, there is still an awful lot of racism out there. The police is a typical example. You know, if you go through the numbers of the police, it doesn't tally with the percentage of
it's all conjectures, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cosmetic.
Yeah, and then, you know...
and most of the time, sorry for quitting you, most of the time, if the black copper, he's a honky-tonk. He's a white man. You know what I mean? He's the worst one in the lot.
That's you being racist.
No, that's the truth. I noticed, for me coming through the system, police, screws, if they were, not all of them, but most of them were black, they had a proper white mentality. Yeah, and they wanted to prove themselves to all the white staff.
Right.
So they went that extra bit more than what they should have, you know.
I mean, they changed the rules, you know, they said, you know, Asians are not tall enough, so, you know, we'll bring down the height thing. And there's nothing more laughable than seeing a little Chinese 4'11" copper, and that's not being derogatory to other Chinese.
Life, isn't it?
Yeah, or a little tiny woman. They look like they've got a toy policeman's
outfit. Yeah, they look like they've got a big suit on.
Walking with all the big men puffing their chest out. And I don't believe that woman or that little person could defend themselves in a situation. You know
it's true.
You know, women in the fire brigade, don't get me wrong, there's some big butch women out there that would make great firemen or firewomen. And that I wouldn't have a problem with. But somebody 4'11" trying to drag me out of the fire, well, I'm dead out. Do you know what I mean? I'm finished. Do you know what I mean? I've got fucking smoke insulation.
Chris tried the in a fire because of this woman in a 4 foot 11.
Fucking tried, but you know, you see
his
two big
jumper.
bits, yeah.
Nobody's jumper.
He pulled his jumper
So,
on.
you know, it is facts and that. But, yeah, I'm British. I'm proud to be British. If there was a war tomorrow, I would fight for this country. Yeah. But I do believe that 30, 40, 50 years ago, our parents had it worse than us.
Yes,
my mother was called nigger lover.
Yeah, my mum
spit
was.
on.
Yes.
You know, asked can I buy your baby? Can I take your baby home with? Not me, I was the ugly one, my sister.
Buy her for what? What do you mean?
Oh, my sister. I've got
Sonia.
one sister, Sonna. And I've got 2 brothers, Barclay and Brian. Barclay, because my dad was a Muslim, yeah. So my sister got called Sonna. She was the firstborn. Sonna Fatima Jammeh.
Okay.
I was born next. I was born 2 days before Christmas, and my dad starts kicking off. My mum starts kicking off. We live in England. We're not having one of them stupid names. You know what I mean? It's not a bleeding Muslim. So I got called Christopher, but the first son born must be called Muhammad. So I was called Christopher Muhammad Jammeh. Yeah? Our backs, we got it. Next time round, yeah.
Yeah, your dad's not having it now.
I was. My mum had her say, got me Christopher. But none of us, our backs was it next. He is called Abu Bakr Sadiq Jammeh. Yeah? He couldn't even spell it till he was about 17. Abu Bakr Sadiq. Yeah, everybody just calls him Bakr. And my other brother Brian, his name is Abraham.
Right.
Yeah. Which I think Brian Said is called Abraham.
Right.
Because his dad was from the Gambia and I presume Muslim as well.
Yeah.
I might be wrong on that.
Are your mum and dad still alive?
No, they're both dead now.
Was they together till they died?
No, they split up for 20 years before more even.
Both your dad and mum, fantastic.
Yeah. But my dad died about 14 years ago.
Okay.
And my mum died recently, about 18 months ago now, my mum, yeah. But, you know, with that, I always take the positive.
Yes.
And the positive is, I was 48 years old when my dad died. So I had my father, I enjoyed my father. I had a good father-son relationship for 48 years. For my mum, it was even longer, I was 59. So for 59 years, I could always go up to my mum's or on the phone or run us a bingo or whatever.
My mum and dad lived
early. When I look at Robert, how old was you when your dad died? He was about 18.
Yeah, about 17 or
right.
And then your mum died shortly after,
really. She was 49.
Yeah. So I always take a blessing that I was able to enjoy my parents and for the length of time that I enjoyed them as well, you know what I mean?
I probably lost mine at the most important transition in my life, you know what I mean?
Tell me what you mean, Robert.
Well, I was just becoming a young man, wasn't I? I respected my dad because everyone looked up to him, but I went about getting that respect the wrong way, like I said to you. My mum was just my angel anyway, do you know what I mean? But there's been many a time over, like, I wanted to sit down and talk to my dad on a level, or my mum was just not there, do you know what I mean? So for years and years and years, I never used to communicate what I was feeling inside. It was my lady who eventually got it out of me, you know, because she used to make her tell me everything what's going on in her life, all the hurt and everything. Then she said, Robert, you can't expect me to tell you everything what's going on, you're not telling me nothing. And she eventually made me start analysing and getting things out and that. And I think a big part of my life was not having my parents there, because I think I would have definitely learned a bit quicker about things, you know, definitely. You know. And because there were so many of us in the family, it was hard when we was young, because everyone was vying for attention. You know, like I said, we must have drove them absolutely starving when I look back, you know what I mean?
In my situation. My dad was a Muslim. He gave us all Muslim names. My dad would turn in his grave today if he knew what was going on with the Muslims, because I know that not all Muslims are ISIS and this, that and the other, but some of the things they're getting up to today, the terrorism and, you know, innocent people getting killed and their heads getting chopped off, this, that and the other. My dad was a very quiet, soft-spoken man. You know, we very rarely got a good hiding off my dad. He could shout at us and talk to us and put us in our place, you know what I mean? Rather than get the stick out, which a lot of African families did. And Jamaicans, get the belt out, you know what I mean? But,
cricket bat.
My dad just wasn't like that. He was a very, like I say, soft-spoken, quiet man. Very educated man. But when we was born in the 50s, there wasn't a lot of facilities for Muslims in this country until the Asians came in the 60s. They came in mass numbers. So my dad gave us all Muslim names. All of us boys were all circumcised. We all had the chop, the snip. And then we went to Church of England schools. I went to St Mark's, that was my primary school.
There was no alternative.
No, exactly. Catholic or Church of England, wasn't it?
I went to St Mark's in Ancoats.
Yeah, it was just cosmetic, really, being a Muslim, wasn't it? It was just that your dad gave you certain things.
But what I did, I was sick of going on holiday to Turkey, and they used to take my passport, and they'd go, Christopher, Muhammad, a Christian name, and a Muslim name. 2 religions in one name. And I was educated as Church of England, even though I'm not overly religious. You know, I went to the Harvest Festival and the Nativity at Christmas and the Lord's Prayer and all that. But they used to laugh at me, and they'd get other passport control. I got a message on my head, Christopher, Papa Muhammad. And then they'd pass it on. I'd be the last one through, waiting for me all to finish laughing and give me my passport back. So what I did in respect for my dad, I waited till my dad died, and then about 6-7 months later, I changed my name by deed poll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you use that on your passport?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I called myself Peter Bart. No, I didn't.
You fucker. What did you call yourself?
Christopher Jammeh.
Oh, okay, so you just took it out.
I just took that out, and I had my passport changed, my driving licence, everything.
Right.
You know.
The man takes things serious, doesn't he? Don't fuck with his cornflakes, man. Or his passports out, life-changing moments,
He was like his food when we were younger. He'd share everything with me, but try and get a fucking butty off him.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Lovely Robert, but get away from him, what's it?
Yeah. So you go through passport control easily now?
Not a problem now at all.
Yeah.
But like I say, at one time, Turkey especially, he was the laughing stock with that, you know. Not because of the name Christopher, not because of the name Muhammad.
The mixture.
Because it was joined together, you know what I mean? Christian and Muslim all in one name. It wasn't good for me. I didn't, you know, I didn't want to have a Muslim name when I'm not a Muslim.
Okay.
When I've been educated as Church of England.
I've never thought about that like that.
I mean, my dad used to always say, oh, you know, Chris, you know, you should become a Muslim. And I'd say, Dad, I'm 43. I'm married. Do you know what I mean? With kids. You know what I mean?
You should become a Muslim.
We went on holiday together, me and my dad, to the Gambia.
Okay.
And he asked all the rest of my family if they want to come. It was all, we all said no, basically. But I said, yeah, I'd love to come with you, Dad, and we went. And he did pay for my ticket, you know what I mean? And that was part of the agreement for all of us.
Okay,
but family, didn't he?
So
yeah.
I let him do that. And on the plane going there, he's saying, Chris, he said, he couldn't say my name. He used to call me Christopher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his accent.
Yeah.
Christopher.
But I can't say their names though either. You know, some of the African names, I haven't got the thing in my mouth to do it. Yeah.
He used to say, Christopher, go to the chicken and give me a fox. And that was, go to the kitchen and get me a fork.
Oh, okay.
And I used to love the Africans they haven't got a word for certain things in life.
Yeah.
So they haven't got a word really for noise.
Oh, okay.
So my dad would say, and a lot of other Africans African children will laugh when I tell them this. He used to say, Margaret, that's my mum, I've been to work all day. I'm tired. I come home from work. I have my tea. I go to bed. All I can hear is the children. You know, and you find that a lot of African families, when they see that bit, they will laugh because the word for noise is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I went to the Gambia with my dad. We had a lovely 2 weeks there. Met a lot of family. The name Jammeh in Gambia is like Smith.
Oh, okay.
Or Jones.
Yeah.
It's actually pronounced Jammeh.
What language did he talk then?
He spoke Swahili.
Oh, okay.
That's their language.
Yeah.
And he also spoke English, obviously. And then one day we went to a new car wash on Stockport Road. Is that running out?
No.
All right. We went to a new car wash that was opening on Stockport Road. It was a French company. And they had all French people. It's the doctors now. A new doctor's surgery, but it was a car wash for a long time. And it was giving all away free air fresheners and a free car wash and this, that and the other. And I said to my dad, because my dad only lived on Stockport Road near McDonald's there.
Okay.
And so come on, Dad, let's have a run down to his car. So, we had a run down, got a free car wash and all that. But you had to get out and while they did your car. And it was all birds, all hot pants on and all that.
Like car wash, like the film car wash.
Like that. And I heard my dad go to one of these birds. Speaking fluent French. I was, at the time, I was about 29.
Wow.
And she's saying, oh yes, and they're having a full-scale conversation.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, Dad, I didn't know you spoke French. He went, yeah, he said, I lived in France, in Paris for 10 years before I met your mother. Because my dad was in the Merchant Navy.
That's what it was. It's like my dad was in there. You have to went around along.
Yeah.
You could talk quite a few languages. My dad was to talk about 5 or 6 different languages.
Yeah.
You know, they're amazing. Just like you never really heard him on Pacific Times. You know, you think, wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where'd that one come from?
I remember him saying to me on the plane, listen, when we get here, Christopher, he said, when we get here, he says, I have to call you Amadou.
Yeah,
Amadou is Muhammad. Because Gambia is a very tolerant country of other religions, but the main religion is Muslim. Sunni Muslims, very peaceful and passive. You know, my dad used to like a drop of brandy, but it was only ever medicine. You know, when he had the flu. So, but he wants to name I've got to call you Amadou. So I said, yeah, all right, Dad. And when we get there, we stop at a lovely hotel called the African Village. That's where we're staying. And all his family are just coming in to see him, and they're all crying and their hands around him. This is my son Amadou, and they're all calling me Amadou. You know?
You don't know who they're talking to.
And then after about half an hour, he said to me, Christopher, can you see if Dubai to sell Coca-Cola? So I said, do you mean Amadou, Dad? He went, yeah, Amadou.
That's like he's that beautiful smile, isn't it?
Yeah. But they all got onto it, you know what I mean? Yeah. And within days, they was all calling me Chris, you know what I mean? Well, yeah.
He's lovely, his dad.
Funny guy.
Was he?
He always had a smile, you know. He was jet black blue.
Yeah.
When he smiled, his face lit up.
Yeah.
He always had a smile, man. Always had a smile.
Yeah,
His dad and my dad tried breaking us up for years, didn't they?
Yeah.
Why?
Because every time we got together,
Something bad would happen.
Yeah.
Said we was a bad influence on each other.
Yeah.
My dad blamed him, his dad blamed me.
I remember his dad had a nightclub. It's called Chick Taylor. Everybody knew him in Manchester. He was a big man. Physically, as well as big, well known and that. At the Bossa Nova Club in near Victoria Station. And he never used to come home till about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning every night. He get a taxi from the club. So
Good means taxi, wasn't it?
yeah, so I used to, what's her name? Me and him would be roaming the streets, but we always had to be home back for a certain time.
That go?
Yeah.
So what I'd do, would come back to Roberts as you do when you're kids. And when we heard the taxi pull up, I'd get under the bed. Anyway, he'd always come in, and because Robert was the rogue at the time, when he come in, his dad, he'd come upstairs and sit on Robert's bed and he'd talk to him.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and he had like a Ghanaian, not Ghanaian, British Guyana, Jamaican accent, and he had a rough voice, and he used to say, Robert, that's what he used to talk, Robert. And he'd sit on the bed, I want you to stay away from that Chris Jammeh. But I'm under the bed.
Yeah.
I'm getting slagged off royal, you know what I mean? This particular night, anyway, I must have been under. Normally, you just sort of go on for 10 minutes or something.
So he come in the next tables and go to bed.
I'd get up and me and Robert would get in the bed. But what's this night, I'm under the bed for about an hour, and I couldn't move or anything.
How much he hates you.
Oh yeah. And when he finished, he went, and Robert, after about an hour, you get that fat bastard from under that bed.
Really? And then made you live through it. Yeah.
Honest to God. Yeah. But I remember going to see him. You were still inside. I got out January 75. I'll never forget it. And you were still in, but they let you out for the funeral. But I went round to see your dad because I got out of Borstal.
Yeah.
And I went round to see him, and but then I was probably about 17 or something then, and he made me dead welcome.
Yeah.
Come in, sat down, but he didn't look well. He lost
lots of weight, and that was very big.
You know what he said to me? He said, "I've told you this, haven't I, Robert? I won't be here soon."
Oh.
And I said, "Why? Where are you going?" You know, I was a bit stupid and naive.
Yeah.
So where are you going, Mr. Taylor? He went, No, I won't be here soon. And then I got on it. And he said, but I want you to look after my Robert, and I'm sure he'll look after you. I can see your friends. And we had a lovely conversation. And I bet it wasn't a week later he died. You know what I mean? And you come out for the funeral, didn't you? Yeah. And that was, like I say, 75, Robert. So how many years ago is that?
A long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Known each other a long time, I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to end in a minute. I just want to ask you a really horrible question.
Go on.
How did that feel that you couldn't be there for your dad?
Killed me. It took me a long time to even learn how to grieve, you know, because I was always in and out of prison because that's the life I'd chosen. But my dad was always there. He was a big man. He was, you know, proud, and I looked up to him, you know, and he was invincible to me. So when he died, it was like a crack on the head with a bat.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand it, you know what I mean? And then Mitchell died, didn't he? A couple of years later, yeah, for the same thing, the brain tumour.
I named my youngest son Mitchell. It's got Mitchell Jammeh, obviously, but I named him after Robert's brother, who was a lovely lad, but he died very young, didn't he, Robert? 21, you know what I mean? And
I just meant,
I couldn't get used to say things to himself like, why wasn't it me? Because I was the baddie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as concerned, my dad and my brother was buddies, you know.
Okay.
And I couldn't understand it, couldn't get my head around it. Why isn't it me, you know?
On a lighter note, Mitchell had a wild side to it, you know what I mean?
Quiet, yeah.
And we were at the house one day and Robert locked him out. He's like that in the window. You know how you do when you're kids and that. We're only about 16, 17 or something. He's like that at the window. Yeah. Mitchell's going mad outside the window.
Yeah, after
about 5 minutes, after Robert's got his nose on the window, after about 5 minutes, Mitchell went like that, bang, right through the window, smashed the window and hit Robert on the nose. Never hurt himself, you know what I mean?
That's how we put sauce through the bathroom door, was that your back?
That was your dad.
Yeah, it was my dad.
Yeah, me and our backs in the toilet, I did. In the toilet, and he didn't
Then he
know
had the
what it was
walking
in.
sticks, you know, with the sauce stick.
Yeah.
He didn't know who it was, he just put it through the
Right through the we're like, our backs managed to get out the
Yeah,
window.
the window, that's Sunday. He got through it.
Shitting
He's good,
himself, yeah.
Yeah, I was like that with my head to the door and sauce stick past my nose. But yeah, like you say, some funny times in them days. But at the time they weren't funny.
No.
But when you look back on
Yeah.
them, do you know what I mean?
It's just wild, aren't they?
Yeah. Like Wild West.
Yeah, aren't they?
Crazy times, man.
I don't know. Are we saying Toronto?
Yeah, we've done 2 hours, man.
Have we?
Wow,
Yeah.
Wow, that's gone quick, that, hasn't it?
And it. Thank you.
I hope you all enjoyed it.
How reminiscent.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you? With 2 words about the Reno. I get in trouble for this.
No.